how much should I charge? So most times I'm approached by people and they're always asking, so Armstrong, how much do you charge for your smudge painting so I'll know how much I should charge my client? And that's like the most ridiculous question. I feel like there's no particular way to charge, but I'm going to give a guideline. Hi, my name is Armstrong Osas, and this is like the hardest question I've ever answered. How much should a smudge painter charge for his work? Let's hit right to the intro. What's up, everybody? My name is Armstrong Osas. That's what Peter McKinnon says. Do you know Peter?
What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon here, and welcome back to yet another 2-Minute Tuesday. It's so great to have you here and see all of your smiling faces.
That's what he says. Well, how much should a smudge painter charge for a smudge painting? It's like asking, how much do you buy a house? How tall is a black man? Those questions do not match up. You know why? Because there are many black men and there are many houses. Now, how much should Armstrong charge is different from how much should somebody else charge for a smudge painting. I'm not going to lie to you. There's no fixed amount to how much you should charge as a smudge painter. There's no amount that you should charge and you should not charge. But I'm going to tell you how much other people charge. Now, there are many factors to consider. The first is quality. You cannot compare probably somebody that has been in the smudge painting game for a while, like a normal digital artist, to somebody that just started. Now you can't compare probably a Ronaldo to probably a Rashford. Now it's not because they are not both good players, but I mean one has been there for a long time.
Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford.
So I honestly think that the quality of what you put out over a long period of time affects how much you are paid for a particular job, because these guys have trusted you with this, and then the people that really come to you, that really trust you with this, is a big factor. I mean your clients. Now the kind of client you want to work with, or the kind of client you are working with on a particular job, determines how much you get paid for that particular job. For example, there are some clients that would want you to do something. You are probably charging say $5 for it, and in their mind they've probably budgeted $20. They would really pay you $5, but somebody that's budgeted $3 is not going to pay you $5. He's going to want to beat it down to $4. So the kind of client you meet determines how you should charge the person. But probably sometimes, like me, you're on IG and then somebody pops up and be like, oh, Armstrong, I want you to do this for me and I want you to do this for me. How do you charge then? It's very simple. Have a standard price list that you always give out to persons, and you can probably tweak it a little. I'm not a very big fan of always tweaking your price list, but I think sometimes it's going to benefit you a whole lot more if you know the kind of audience you are delivering to. Knowing the audience you deliver to will also make it easier for you to negotiate with them and then tell them, oh, probably this is how much I do this and how much I do this. Even if I say this a whole lot, that smudge painting is just photo manipulation. Well, in a nutshell, first of all, the first thing you need to consider when you're a smudge painter is you are more of a professional photo editor than a painter, a digital painter. I honestly think smudge painting is something you should spend your time towards, so you can have quality. Though you're charging your client, you can know that okay, this is how much time I spend, and then the time you spend for a particular job should also determine the amount you charge for that particular job. Now, so I'll be talking about how much you charge. Now, just to cut the whole video short, checking out websites like Fiverr, some of the biggest artists there, their starting price from $10. So that means if you are charging in Naira $10, for those in Nigeria, $10 times say 500 for the official rate, or 570, is roughly over 5,000 or 6,000 or thereabouts. So when you are charging in Naira, that is like a rough estimate. So some websites like payscale.com buttress the fact that an average digital artist in Nigeria earns roughly 979 Naira to 10,000 per hour, and the average is 4,000. Now, it's not very realistic because most of us do not charge hourly. We actually charge for a job. I mean, person give you work, you go do them. But I honestly feel like you shouldn't really be bothered about how much you charge. Especially if you're a newbie, you should be bothered about giving out something quality. So this is what I think. If you find yourself asking how much I should charge and how much I should charge for this, then you should slow down and ask yourself, how much are people coming back, or how much am I delivering? Now, if you have a very nice smudge art, I mean very sleek, and then when somebody scrolls past it, he comes back and looks at it again, then your price should go higher. Do you understand? So I think you should first of all work on your craft first, then the prices will come in. And then if you are really asking how much you should really make, I think most Nigerians, they charge roughly 5,000, and newbies probably charge lower, say 3,000 or so for a job. Now, most times after that, they need to frame these jobs, and then framing these jobs, it determines where you frame it in. So people ask me, how much should I frame at this particular time? And I don't know how much you should frame a particular size, like 12 by 16 or 16 by 20. The only thing I know is that different shops have different prices. Now, when you get to a particular shop and they tell you this particular size is going to cost this particular thing, now try to get the premium materials to frame these things. Don't use probably a bad mat to frame it, or use a weak frame. Probably use the best materials. Tell whoever is paying for it that you want to use and so materials, or just tell them that this is what it's going to cost. And when you're through with doing that and you have gotten the price from them, you can probably take away the transportation and probably pay yourself. Don't go around looking for how to build a house on somebody's frame cash. Probably the cost to frame a particular job is 5,000. Then you can probably charge 7,000 or 8,000 for that particular job. Now, this is not a guideline to how it is. This is like a rough sketch. This is not how much I'm saying you should charge. Now, remember I said client determines how much you charge, because first, there are some clients that want exquisite frames. There are some clients that want all these things. So you determine how much you are going to work with them. Now, learn how to negotiate. And one of the biggest ways to learn how to negotiate is when you know how much you are delivering. Now, if you know how much you are delivering, I know how much I'm delivering. So when I'm trying to negotiate with you, I'm not negotiating like you are doing me a favor. I'm actually negotiating like I'm putting my whole talents to work, so you come patronize me. Now, one of the biggest ways to earn more in smudge painting is building a portfolio. Now, so getting exposure has a big role to play about how much you should charge. Now, I have 70,000 followers, for example, and then probably a guy that's better than I has say 1,000 followers, and somebody comes to our page and then it feels like, hey, I'm strong, I want to do this for me, and I say, okay, I'm going to charge you, for example, 5,000 for this particular job. And then he feels like, okay, I can trust this guy because probably I've seen a few celebrities follow him, I've seen them repost his work, and the whole endorsement probably puts me on a different pedestal to this guy that's probably better. And there's a saying that goes, the best players have not been seen on camera yet. So that means, because the fact I have exposure, it means that I'm probably the best for now. You get. Now, even if people think that Instagram is a place where you just come and just say a lot of things and you go home, well, I don't think that's true. I think Instagram somehow endorses you and then gives you a whole lot of platform. You are very aware, as much as I, that there are a lot of persons that are smudge painters. I mean, the number is huge. So how do you make money with these guys? It's probably sticking to your deadline. If you say you're going to deliver by Saturday by 2 o'clock, deliver by Saturday by 2 o'clock. Don't go around cutting down cost for a client, and next time he comes, he pays you the same pattern for the order. If he refers somebody, he tells the person, this is how much I paid. Even if the person might not come out, open his door, okay, this is guy told me I paid so amount, but then it reflects to how the guy relates with you. So what you should do is, instead of cutting down cost, pop up value. I give him something very slick, and then he's going to feel like, oh, my money was worth it. I see a lot of persons, they want to charge 100,000, and I mean, what you're giving me is probably 2,000 naira. In naira, 2,000 naira worth. In fact, I started earning in naira 500 naira. That's like $1. And then there are jobs I've done that's gone way. Should I say the amount? Like $50, $100. So lastly, I think if you want to charge, you should probably start from 3,000, 5,000. If you think you're a pro, make it 8,000 or so. You can charge in dollars too, if that feels well by you, if you have ways to collect your dollar. And I think that's probably very good for you. So tell me what you think I should have covered in this video. I'll probably drop it in the next video. Drop a like, drop a comment. I want to know how the biggest amount you've ever earned and the tiniest amount you've ever earned on the comment section. Alright, I'll meet you in the next. Bye bye.